Hello people, it's that time. It's that time again. Okay. Welcome along everyone to my live stream. Welcome to the channel. My name's Danny C. Let's get down to business, shall we? I hope everyone's doing good, and I hope everyone's having a good weekend, whatever you've been up to. So this is round 2 of the GT World Series Nations Cup online qualifiers, and we are in the Red Bull X 2019 fictional car. And we're heading off to Montreal, the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve, one of the tracks I like here. So I hope everyone's doing good. So I'm going to quickly go into the comment section. Line Bus, welcome along. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you're well. And welcome to the channel as well, seeing as though it's the first time I've seen you on my stream. So I appreciate you sparing a moment to say hello. So and a good luck message. So let's get on to it, shall we? So what's going to be happening as we're in round 2? Obviously, we've got an interesting race. Well, I say interesting. We will see on that one. So what's going to be happening is that there's going to be a 15-lap sprint race, basically. Obviously, you've got the tyre wear and fuel consumption rated that is set to times 1. So obviously, it's not about getting the fastest laps of it. It's about the consistency. So the objective as for my side is to keep the consistency together as best I can, as well as keeping it out of the barriers and to not abuse the track limits or so on. Obviously, that there is no mandatory pit stops in this one. You don't need to change the tires because it's just racing soft is the only tire compound that you'll be using, even though that as it turned out that this track doesn't even rain at all, which I would have loved to have a wet race for sure. Makes things interesting, but it is what it is. So other than that, the shortcut penalty set to weak, ghosted during the race is strong, flag rules are on. Thank you, Line Bus. Appreciate it. And well done to you. And am I right thinking that, I see that you got the Driver of the Day award in one of the races. So well done to you, pal. And getting some results as well from last night. And I ain't going to lie that it wasn't an easy race from my side when you had Shadow up there as well. So hats off to Shadow for what has been an amazing race meeting from start to finish, from the moment the qualifying begun to the moment we finished in a 1-2, no matter the order, as we've just been at it from start to finish. So I've not extended my championship lead ahead of Shadow because according to my maths from top of my head, obviously because Clay Jackson is not going to be competing for the rest of the season, so having only done that one race meeting at Brands Hatch, so therefore that I have now taken the championship lead. So obviously got Shadow to worry about for the moment, but yeah. Yeah, by any means, just do your best, and that's all you can do. No pressure whatsoever. So the objective is for anybody is just to get into the flow with things, and then just go for it and take one race as it comes. Which for me, it's obviously I've done this loads of times, so it's the right mindset to have in it. Do you know what I mean? Other than that, we can control what we can do, and then that's just a way we get away with our business for sure. So it is 4:45 in the UK, so which means I can now enter the 5 o'clock slot. Yes, yeah. Oh, that was unfortunate to see what happened there. So, which I've been just literally, just constantly, changing the aero, as in the downforce for the front and rear, because it's one of them things that you don't want to be, forgetting, because you'll be lagging behind a bit, which is where the advantage will be handed over to some who obviously have cracked on with changing the downforce settings. which obviously was very much a low downforce track at Daytona, rightly so for the long straights and as well as just throwing it around the corners and so on. When I flick it down to second and therefore just power out of the corners if I need to, with the confidence underneath you. So I've just seen that Bilson's put in a really good time. Obviously not far off Anthony and Federino. Obviously just ahead of Heaton as well. And we've got Muscaffi, Dizzy. So I'm currently inside of the top 300. But I've got to tell you, these cars ain't fun. Ain't fun to drive. So just quickly gone into a little practice race, obviously with the tyre wear and fuel consumption rating on, just to get the feel of the braking system and so on. But other than that, just need to remain consistent as best I can. And then you have those industrial barriers that have been placed. You see what I mean? Well, the tyre barriers, should I say. They're there for a reason. Now, I did see something on Rory's YouTube shorts the other day. And I'm going to show you guys what I've just seen from Rory's. Now, if it's there, oh, now I see it. Now I see it. It's a groundhog. Can you see it? There's a groundhog there. Not coming out just yet. Hello, mate. Hello. Remember to look both ways, obviously, with the, well, they're all going in the one direction there, of course. So you just need to watch the road, buddy, and look after yourself. And that's another thing to be careful of also, just when you leave it onto zero traction control, then you don't want to be lighting up the rears too quickly and end up spinning all over the place. Even in a very uneven track surface, a very bumpy track like Montreal, then you're just going to have to manage through the tight sequence of corners. Just don't know about today, but it's just getting to grips with this car, which is another thing for sure. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Almost lost it. Just gotta watch if I don't hit that sausage curb in an awkward angle. Because otherwise, what will happen there is that you're more likely going to get a penalty if you go a bit too fast in that part of the sausage curb at that speed. So I'm going to hang fire for a moment, go for a quick toilet break, and I'll be back in 2 secs. Right, I'm back. With a bit to go. I'm just gonna save myself before I get into whatever lobby I'll get put in for the 5 o'clock slot. And just to give you guys some energy. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, I've been waiting for this moment all of my life. Oh Lord, can you feel it coming in the air tonight? Oh Lord, oh Lord. You know what it is like? Every time when I sing this song, then it just gives me some good results, as it's turning out to be. So, as long as I do something what works for me, then I know I'm doing something right. So, unless something else woke up like a different song or something, but. Okay then, good luck to those who are taking part in round 2 of the GT World Series Nations Cup online qualifiers. Don't worry mate if the first race hasn't gone to plan, because there's another opportunity coming later on as well. So let's see who we're up against. So we've got Matty, Mario Sonic, Muscafi, and there's CEO as well. How many points do you get for the win? Oh, 292. 292 for the win. So I always say to myself that anywhere I finish in the top 8 is a good enough result. Obviously, as long as that increases my DR, that's a bonus for sure. Or even finish well higher than where I started, then I'd be more than happy. Wherever I qualify. Just gonna let these people by, wait for 30 seconds or so, and then I'll be able to get some clean laps in. Now obviously with this kind of tyre wear rate, and you know, with it, as it turns out, the second lap you do you know, just becomes better. It just gets better than the first. We've got Mario Sonic behind, I believe. Yep, we have. Here we go. Yeah, that's probably the best I can do, but all to play for. And there's CO, obviously. We've got Matty on pole, we've got myself in 5th, CO in 7th, we've got Mario Sonic in 11th, Muscaffi in 13th. So it's not about a sprint, it's not about getting the fastest lap, it's about the consistency, which is the objective for this race. As long as I keep my nose clean and everything, that's yeah, that will be a bonus for sure, which ain't gonna be easy, but okay. So it's a rolling start. Let's play the music. Let's get down to business and do the talking on the track. Good luck and have fun. Everyone rising the notes to the top of the engine block. Welcome along, Ben. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you're well. I'm number 2 on the sides. I didn't see what number I was using. Trying to get past, but there was nowhere to go. We've got Seal behind as well, just got to be mindful of him. Almost. Oh. We're at the podium so far. You could go for the overtake if you want. I'm not fussed. Okay. Oh, almost lost it. So we're halfway through now. So we've got these two fighting for P3. Ceo's got a penalty. So it's the Italian, I think. No, the Italian goes through and the Ceo serves a penalty. So I started P5, and if I finish from where I started, then at least it's a bonus to finish in the top 5, considering how tough these cars are in a short race. Two laps to go. Lead me to it. Oh, somebody's gone off the chicane. See, I was going for the overtake. Gets the move done. Oh, it's going to be dragged later to the line. Seal just gets it, only just. We got there in the end. Started 5th, finished 5th. Well done, everyone. So we've got Mario Sonic in 9th, we've got Moscafi in P15. So something must have happened to him, so. Yeah, I just had a quick look at well, my Scaffy stream, and he's in the pits, so hopefully hope he's okay. Yeah, I can say, look, it's just not one of them races where it's so not easy, you know, to be consistent throughout, and just to be mindful of other people around you also. But so grab the replays if you want them. So I just want to spare a moment to say well done to these two if they stay around. So what does that get me in terms of points? 243, so yeah. This combo is balls, says CEO. Well, it's one of them races, one of them sort of races. We survived somehow. That's the most important thing for sure. So once we've gone through, well, obviously the results wise, and we'll have a look at the replay, and then thanks for the race to Mario Sonic also. Sorry to see what happened well, to Muscafi, as he's well, gone down to 15th. No problem. I'll see you again. So let's have a look, shall we? So let's have a look at the first lap, shall we? So CEO started 7th, and then he's made progress, so that's good to see. So from my side, then it was just like steady away. So let's see how CEO managed to get jumped up to 6th. So. Oh, that's a beautiful move, that. Around the outside of the Spaniard, taking no prisoners whatsoever, so, and that's how CEO made his way up to 6th. And then we've got myself, who was just like, getting to see what happens, kind of attitude, and just biding my time and efforts, be sure that keep my nose clean and don't get involved in other people's messes. So you can see the Italian just gone very deep in that corner, and this is where it becomes a bit more exciting, of course, and how close enough to the grass the German is, but did right to give way. But that's when the ghosting comes into effect, and they went inside of each other. Doesn't sound right going inside of each other for some, but anyhow. And this corner as well, where there's a bit of ghost in that one. So by that time, I had to react to just a dodge in case the ghosting doesn't work. Because what happened there is that, well, just coming from that perspective, So yeah, that's put the Italian into the wall, which left the German with a 4-second penalty. So was that a punt? Yeah, it was enough of a punt to put the Italian into the wall, which left the German with front bumper damage and a 4-second penalty in the process. So therefore, not only Danilo, myself, and CEO had to take advantage of that misfortune that somebody had. And that was third at that point, and then so CEO thought about it. So we're just like tiptoeing away. Just left them a car's width. Don't want to do anything too stupid, and then obviously CEO had the advantage to stick it on the inside and make his way up to third. So what is it like? 2 laps? Well, in a few places in a few laps. So some good progress from CEO, considering from where he started. Obviously that which led to the German punting the Italian into the wall with a 4-second penalty. So I tried my hardest to go on keep it on the rails, and obviously Matt is just like literally running away with it as it stands. And they had the Italian all over me also. So rightly so, left of the car's width. Obviously the Italian had great traction out of that corner, whilst I was just tucking myself in, and then what I had to do there is try and retake the position if I can, and I had to brake, so see if I can just outbrake him also. But it wasn't the best of timings from my side, because if I would have just like held back a little bit more and carry the speed through the chicane and get close to the world champions as I dared, therefore that I would have got back the P4. So how that Italian got a penalty, so just looking a little forward there, it's just, that's a tough one, you see what I mean? So it was just that bit of it over the white line before you hit the curb, the red and white curb. So it's just like literally just onto the runoff area, that bit of runoff area before you hit the first part of the red and white curb, which of course, like as of before, that it is the most annoying of the lot in terms of track limits. So in that case, I took myself back in, as it was just pointless of trying to go for the move, as you have the penalty zone on the back straight, the last back straight, and that's what enabled me to make my way up to P4 for the moment. Obviously I've somehow managed to keep it all together, and then Sunder obviously had the traction, and I thought I'll just try and get him on the back straight if I get a good drive out of the corner. But unfortunately I wasn't close enough to make a move. So CEO must have I've been lacking some. I've been a little bit off on the pace with it. 18.3, 18.4, 18.1, 18.4, and then you've got the last 2 laps. The Italian had just been like literally on it, which obviously is just a few attempts is all it takes. And so how CEO managed to get a penalty, my guess would be this corner, which indeed it was close enough. And this is what I mean, that although that it may be like well, the first part of the red and white curbs, that because underneath the tire, underneath the wheel, it's just the it's just that red part of the red and white curbs is all it took for when you yeah, that's the annoying part for sure, because he'd been like doing that well for this whole time of for the whole race, well, pretty consistently. And it's just the smallest of details, which is all it takes to punish you with a half-second penalty like that. But there was no point of stressing that just yet, because with 4 or so laps remaining, 5 laps remaining, should I say, it was all to play for. And then Danilo must have dropped off the pace, so he made a mistake somewhere, whatever he's been doing. So it must have been like the same corner that I've been talking about, where it's the annoying part. Oh, it's just the inside of the curbs. That's what happened. Okay, so that's as much as you can do with this bit of replay. So what happened was Danilo turned in too early. Now you see, he turned in so then he can go over the red and white lines. Not only that, but to go over the white lines. Not only to go over the white lines, but to also go over the red and white curbs. So that's literally abused the track limits for that bit. So if you see where I'm coming from, then he went over that sausage curb, which is where the wheels are not making contact with the red and white curbs, which in that case you are abusing the track limit, which is where that person managed to get a half-second penalty for mounting on the sausage curb, not enabling the wheels to make contact with the red and white curbs, that bit of the red and white curbs. So that's where the opportunities start to come along for those behind him. So this is where it becomes very interesting. So obviously, and look at Matty, that been very consistent with us. 17-4, 17-6, 17-9, 74, 17-6, 17-7, 17-7, 18-3. Must have had a penalty somewhere. 17-7, 17-4, 17-7. Consistency at that sort of pace. Even they had stability management in the process. Oh, bloody hell. That's where it was all kicking off. So, because what happened was, got a bit photo happy there, then turned in, and that's when these two came together, both Italians. What are you doing? They're all like, Mamma mia, what is this guy doing? Holy mama. And then Sio saw the opportunity whilst Sunder was carrying damage on the front left and then front bumper also. And that, of course, well, Danilo obviously had to nurse into P2, considering the contact, and therefore that it was a mental lender, well, to be very honest with you, with the two of the Italians, which left Sio the opportunity to make most of them two's misfit coming together. yeah, so I mean, this is the thing, Ben. That it's crazy. Like when it comes to the last lap and you're trying to hold on for your dear life, and that's where the pressure gets to him. So that person must have been feeling the adrenaline for sure. So, all right. Okay. So, just want to spare a moment to say thank you very much to those of you who have been tuning in to say hello while on the go. Thank you very much, and well done to those who have been taking part, and don't worry to those who might not have the best of results in those races, but another opportunity will come. So, the summary of this race in round 2 at Montreal in the Red Bull X 2019. I started 5th, finished 5th. So I'm taking home the points. Don't need to do anything too silly, because otherwise, if I go again, it's like I'm risking more. Do you know what I mean? So, we're off to a very consistent start, considering that I for the first round, I started P13 and then finished 4th and got so close to finishing 2nd at one point. And then, of course, for this round as well, I started 5th and then finished 5th also. The consistencies are proving to be a key factor, where the qualifying where I just had to really get it together. Do you know what I mean? So, but other than that, we'll take on the points. So as for what's happening next from my side, next time we'll be live is on Monday, and we're off to the Nürburgring for round 6 of the CCC Racing Renault Clio Cup, and we are at the Nürburgring, one of my favourite tracks. So obviously, we're going to start off with race 1 at the Nordschleife section. Sadly, there won't be any qualifying. However, I did read this afternoon as well on the chat, and therefore that what is happening there is that if my calculations are correct, what I mean by that is that based on the fastest lap you done in the race, which was the last race, which was at Tokyo Expressway, they will take your fastest laps to determine the grid, because let's be honest, that the Nordschleife section takes 7 odd minutes to do an out lap, and another 7 minutes to do a push lap, which obviously it's just so long in it. Totally understandable. So other than that, if my maths are correct, I've been putting a 41.7 at the time. That should put me on the front row, but we will get to that on race day also. So keep your eyes peeled a bit, as it looks like my chances of clinching the championship is getting closer and closer. But there is work to do, because having done a few practice laps at the Nordschleife, then I just felt pretty good, and so I got the gear selections, the lines together, as well as that, etc., etc. So this is putting me into that really good position as to try and build the momentum for as much as I can over my championship rivals. So that's what's happening as well. So Monday, before 8 o'clock-ish UK time, is when I next go live on YouTube. And yeah, that's what's happening next. And also, we're in the sprint layout for race 2 of round 6. So we're starting off at the Nordschleife for race 1, and then we head off to the sprint layout in the same venue. So we've got a cracking racing venue to provide you guys. So thank you all for watching. If you're liking the content of what I'm doing, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and appreciate your support as always. Other than that, I'm going to crack on with other things. So whatever you're up to, have a great day, a great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are in the world. And for myself, Danny C, I'll catch you in the next one. Ooh, drop this one for, knock this one off for a moment. Okay, all sorted. So, have a great evening, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and whatever you're up to, look after yourself. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.